Hi, Jeremy. It's Hugo. Super noisy on my side, so I'll probably keep quiet. I need to try and avoid going outside today because I need to stay on the screen for a lot of accounting coming up. Did you have you emailed Torsten?
I think I did. Let me look here. Oh shit! Shoot! Oops, we're recording. I'll check. If not, I'll get it out today. I know what So what I had to do. Well, I'll explain this if I forgot, but I had to make sure that I could do what he's asking for because that other library, GoDraw, is really expensive. But there are other libraries out there that we could use. So
okay, well, if you want to ask me in advance, feel free. And if you're able to CC me, I'll try and help get you the business. He's not just so you know, he's not a paying customer at the moment. He stopped his plan for a while. I think he'll probably start again for some other systems that he want me to probably go to his office for. Okay. But yeah, if I can help at all, please let me know. And yeah,
I'll do that. How you been? I haven't talked to you for a while.
Has it been 2 weeks already?
It feels weird not doing training classes right now, but I'm not doing anything right now. So
yeah, I've just been working. I've been working on a kind of accounting system for one of my own businesses for years, and I'm finally kind of happy enough with it for some things. For the first, can you imagine? Anyway, I'll let you say hi to Sam, and I'll go quiet for a minute. Give me one second.
Hey Sam, how are you?
Oh hi. Sorry to be late. Yeah.
Oh, no worries. We're that's hilarious.
I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, I missed you all last week. We didn't do this last week. I was supposed to be out, and then I decided not to go because of COVID stuff. But I'm not sick, but I just didn't want to get it. But so I forgot to reschedule it. But yeah, so I took advantage of the time and got some work done. So what have you been up to, Sam?
I'm trying to follow the tutorial from YouTube. Just try to create a portfolio website using Next.js.
Oh, okay. Using Next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's that going?
Yeah, good, but yeah, good. I think I could create my own website. And maybe yeah. And I think I will rebuild some of the components of the original website because there's a little bit duplicate pages. Yeah.
They've had a lot of. They just had a new release that just came out next, and added some stuff. The stuff that I showed recently, where I could use FileMaker to update the content of some of my pages. That was sort of a beta version when I was using it, but now it's fully released into the framework. So I think I need to switch that over. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I have 3 websites going right now for 2 for me, and actually 4 now. 2 for me and 2 for clients using Next.js. So
have you tried the authorization, authentication from Proof guys? They just release use Next.js to authenticate users.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you tried that?
Where do they release that? Is it on their?
On GitHub. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
they have a blog post.
Okay, I'll take a look.
If you try that later, maybe, and if you work that out, maybe you could show it to us.
Sure. Yeah,
Thank
I'll
you.
be glad to look at that. Orlando, how's it going?
Hi, Jeremy. Hi, Sam and Hugo. How you both? Yeah.
Hi, Orlando. All good?
Hi, Orlando.
Yeah, all good with me as well. Actually working from home today, so I thought I'd join you for the 2 o'clock.
Nice. Everybody so far is not in the States, so that's great. Let's see what they got. Oh, FM data API, is that what it is? Or oh, next auth. Cool.
Yeah, that one.
Very nice. Huh. Well, cool. Well, I'll play with it and see. I'll see what this is about. Yeah, I'll have to play with this and see. I don't know what it's about. This is certainly using auto and all that stuff. So anyway, so how's it going, guys? See if I'm not sure if anybody else is coming. So I'm interested here. I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm doing a presentation at the auto enter thing on just using JavaScript and FileMaker. And yeah, I decided because we only have 25 minutes in the session time, I thought I would do something where I showed how to work with a template and all that stuff in 25 minutes or so. And because that's the length of the session, and just be able to get it set up. So my title was, I had a different title, but I had just changed it. It's just pointing out how easy it is to use JavaScript in our FileMaker apps. Of course, this comes with the idea that we, if we have a framework like the development environment, if we know libraries, then it's further easier to use. And I think all of you have used this environment or have done your own work in getting stuff set up. Orlando, I think you were working with JavaScript before, but then when we talked through the development environment, are you using the development environment more nowadays?
Yes. Anything I'm doing now is using that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think previously I was using the file you set up for the 2019 DevCon. When you did the session there, was it 19? It was a lifetime ago, anyway.
Yeah, 18 maybe, but yeah.
Yeah, so I was using that, and then before that, it was just copying and pasting the whole thing into the web viewer. So it's painful before. It's a lot easier now.
Yeah. It is a lot easier, and that's what I want to show. So I want to show that by setting up a chart in the system. I wanted to do data tables, but somebody from Soliant is going to be doing a data tables thing, I think, and they're probably going to use Carafe. So that's fine, perfectly fine. I'm going to show a different approach, and so we'll get two different perspectives in auto enter. But the idea is to just demonstrate how quick it is to set this up. And now, there's definitely levels of quickness. There's a level where you start from scratch. You start from the development environment and you create your own thing over and over and over. This is pretty much a blank canvas. And every time you have to install everything that you did. What I have done and what I had done for you guys in the training was we did this. Where's my repositories? We did this starter file, right? Where let's go to my organizations. We did this starter file called the data table starter, which I've actually, done a lot of work on, but it basically has the FileMaker file with data in it. It pretty much has all the links to all of the source material that we need, the code that we need. So this is a template, and I think what I want to do and what I wanted to do was do a presentation on this. I'm still going to record one and then just have it available afterwards for people to watch as well, and just say, here's my version of data tables. I won't be, oh, did Sam or did Hugo have to leave? Oh, sorry, Hugo. Sorry, Hugo. I didn't realize you had left. So anyway, so this is the starter file for the data tables, and using this, you really can get started in just a couple of minutes. It's really pretty quick. And I'm going to do a couple, just practices to do it. And obviously, the more people practice, the better it is for them. But you could take this and really just implement it. So what I'm going to try to do here is actually, I'm going to construct a charting starter. And actually, I need to, let's see, where was it? Here. First of all, I need to move it over to my, didn't mean to put it over there. Change, transfer ownership. So I want to do integrating magic, JLB magic, charting starter to confirm. Okay. So I want to transform this over to mine, but the idea is to take this charting starter and build it up so that really all people have to do is put it into their app and to just make it work, add data to it, make some configuration. And I think the whole point of what I'm interested in doing with this is to show people that if you go into your, so here's the data tables one. If you go into the data tables, if you go into a piece of code and you've got your FileMaker file, whether it's the development one or it's the it's your own copy, it's your own file, that there's not a whole lot that you have to do to make this work. If you've got data in this app or in your app, the only thing you really need to do is update this piece of code right here, the columns, to tell the data tables which columns and the path to that column that's in your data set. Everything else is built out pretty much already. All of the links to all of the sources, the element where the div is, or where it's going to be rendered, the JavaScript to click on a row, and all the parsing. The only thing that people are going to have to do is come in here, and I think I want them to experience that, because I want them to be like to wade their feet into the waters of using this JavaScript library, the code editor, and looking at an index.js file and realizing that this is the only place they really need to make some changes. Everything else is already set up for them. Now, what do you guys think of that? I know most of you, you took the training course or you're doing JavaScript already, but do you think that if people were given something that is set up, a starter file, that they only had to come in here and change a little bit, they would get the feel of it and realize that it's not that scary? Do you think that's a good starting point for people?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Which one you are going to introduce, the charting or data tables? Maybe you could introduce the charting first, and then you can move on to the data tables. It may be maybe better for
Well,
someone who is new to JavaScript.
So I feel like that's a good progression, and maybe it's better for people who, I've had some people in my courses struggle with using VS Code or using GitHub and stuff, and I completely get that, because those are whole courses in of themselves. But if they start with this, where they only need to take one little thing and change it, and then they go, oh, this is fairly accessible, I can handle this, I can add more columns and more data, I think I might take the course. I might learn more about how to do this.
Do you need them to have NPM installed, Jeremy, or can you give them a way of just viewing what they're making without it? I'm not sure who your target is. Whether it's just everyone who is developing anything.
You're right. My target is FileMaker developers. My target is showing them how easy it is to do this. My goal is to show them how easy this is to do it. Yes, there's 25. The 25 minutes are assuming that you already have NPM installed, you've got VS Code, you've got GitHub, all that stuff. So that stuff I have to explain in the video at the beginning and say, here are the things you do before, but these are one-time things, right? And I do have resources for those. So I can point to those in my video, and because the auto enter, I'm actually recording the video before, and then I'm interacting with people watching it. I can point to all those resources as soon as I mention them in the video. So people will have to follow some steps, but you all have done that. I mean, Hugo, you didn't know anything about GitHub and NPM and VS Code, and you've picked up some stuff from that, right?
Yeah, I've used GitHub a lot.
Okay.
I haven't used VS Code. I tend to use a lot of other more basic editors.
Yeah.
NPM I haven't used before, and I'm just thinking. I just have in mind how many starting issues we had in the course where you had to hold our hands again and again and again. I feel like if you can avoid it for them, but if they can go through a video, then of course. I think most of our problems getting started each time, apart from the issues we had with someone switching to Windows, I guess most of the problems were actually just our memory problems and forgetting things. So if people can just the whole video, then I think it's fine. But I would make it very clear to them that that's only necessary for their development environment. I do wonder whether it's possible for you to just skip it entirely to suck people in with just what the user would be experiencing.
Well, the user as in the user of the database, or the FileMaker developer?
The non-developers, so the end users.
Okay.
I wonder if you can.
Yeah,
I wonder if they're more easily that way.
Yeah, I was thinking along the similar lines. Just have a FileMaker only version, and then you move up to VS Code. Because if you just need to pass in the title and the data, you could have that in your script, and you could bundle it all in one file.
Yeah.
As an intro to get those people that are a bit afraid to move out of FileMaker, and then have this as the next step in the training, because you want to draw those people in that are like I said, afraid to move out of FileMaker. There's a few people out there that were just if it's not in FileMaker,
All right. Those are good ideas. Here are some of my thoughts about that. Number one, the demonstration that I do for auto enter is supposed to show them how easy it is. So once you are at the point where I'm at right now on my screen, it'll take you 25 minutes to get things set up. If you're interested in that, then you should pursue that. I like the idea of the FileMaker only thing, but I realize that there's already a ton of resources out there that is the FileMaker only thing, right? So Carafe is like that. Proofgeist has one. FM Easy Charts. There's one by Liestris, that company. And those are perfectly fine. And if people want to just use those, but this is actually to answer your question a little bit better, Hugo, this is for the people who are interested in exploring the JavaScript idea and seeing how much of a barrier it is to get into. I think by showing them how fast you can do it once you are set up, it might encourage people to do this. Now, to help people further down, I don't plan on just doing the 25-minute video and saying, see you later. I'm the days following the conference, I'm going to have open office hours for anybody who wants to come and help me get them set up into their system. Like, Hugo, we didn't do this for your training group. I think I did it for Orlando's, but I had a session before we actually started training where I helped everybody get set up. We just did one screen after another, and I walked them through the entire process to get them to this point. So I think if I offer that free time, anytime during the day, during a couple hours, people can pop in and set up, get their environment set up, walking through it with me live. They could also watch the video. I think that will break down a lot of the barriers. What do you think about that?
How many, so I know that there are somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 Claris partner firms.
Yep.
And I'm assuming generally each one of those has an average of, say, one certified developer. And there are apparently like 50,000 people in the community, right? And I assume there are about 100,000 people or more globally who, maybe much more than that, who tinker with FileMaker either internally in companies or elsewhere. It must be at least 100,000. I don't know I don't know if maybe there are about 2,000 certified developers and maybe 100,000 people developing quite seriously or tinkering very minorly.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like they're potentially two quite separate markets. I can imagine for those 100,000 who are in companies, who may be some form of other IT guy or developer, I'm assuming many of them will just be interested in whatever they can put in a web viewer that they think is going to solve a problem for them. And then I can imagine that of those, roughly 1,000 developers, they might be quite interested in the certified developers. They'd be quite interested in getting into JavaScript.
Mm-hmm.
They'll invest the time in it. I don't know if that helps at all, or if those numbers make sense to you. It would be great to know your perspective, but to me, you have two quite different groups, I guess. Of course, there are lots of exceptions and gray areas and people in the middle, but I think that's going to be the general two main categories for you. Is that generally how it is? You would know much better than I do. I don't really interact with as many people as you do.
I don't particularly know numbers. I haven't paid attention to that for a while. I can ask around and see what is happening, but there's no way I could train 100,000 people. So I'm glad there's a smaller market. I could not have, Orlando, we had like 4 people in yours. I think one of my groups had 8. It's a real struggle to have, more than 6 or 7 people in there because of the different levels. I am trying to figure that out. So I'm okay with only training a subsection of the community, only those people who are interested in this JavaScript. But what I hope to bring out in my session is this isn't completely free. You can do anything you want with this idea if you just explore it. And I'm going to give you a scaffolded thing where you get almost everything. You only have to fix one part of it, change one part of it. And then the next time they do this, they're going to be given less because they'll know more and they'll be able to do more. I don't know. I have trained so far since March, I've had about 35 people in my sessions. That's not too bad, and it's been a lot of work.
How have most of those people found you? Do you think it's in the same way I did?
I
Just,
think, you know,
just search literally JavaScript FileMaker and some of your content pops up because you have so much. So you're probably way up the top.
I'm pretty much at the top. Yeah.
Is that how basically all those people since March have come to you? Or has it been referrals mostly? Or
I think the community has helped. A lot of people came from the community. A lot of people came from Facebook, where I posted about. Orlando, where did you see it? When did you decide to join?
I think it was a combination of the FileMaker community and LinkedIn.
Okay, LinkedIn has been successful. I don't know if anybody has just like cold searched JavaScript and FileMaker. Actually, there have been some people who have done that. They know me. You did, okay. Steve, in my afternoon office hours, usually he found me because I've written the most about JavaScript and FileMaker. To that end, I'll show you something. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to see, you know, every business course that I read and podcast that I listen to talks about narrowing down your scope, your niche as much as possible. And I think I've narrowed it down to a pretty unique one. And I've narrowed it down as far as I can go, while still I think there's a lot of people out there that are ready for this. To that end, I'm finally getting my posting going again. And I just put out a post about the patterns of JavaScript and FileMaker. This talks about, you know, it's funny because I wrote a post about the training stuff that I talked with you guys about over and over, the patterns, and how if you adopt these patterns and remember them, to Hugo's point, you'll be able to work in FileMaker in JavaScript a lot easier. So I'm writing more about it. I'm going to write even more about JavaScript and FileMaker. So be prepared to see me skyrocket to the top again. Well, okay. So let me walk through this. By the way, I want to show you something else. Before the data tables, before I found out that I wasn't doing data tables, I actually created an add-on for data tables. And the idea was let me see if I can just do this. I'm going to just try to find let's just do this quick. I'm going to open up this pivot table. All right, so here's an old pivot table. Does it have data in it? Okay, yeah, so I could actually take this. Let's just do this. I'm going to just see how quick this is. So I created an add-on. What's going on? Why can't I go? Oh. What is happening? Why can't I go into layout mode? Let's try this again.
Jeremy, you need to get this. It will make Scott happy. You need to get this app magnet to put your windows automatically in the tidy dimension.
App magnet. What's that?
Magnet.
Okay. Is that a new? Is that an app that helps out?
Yeah, if you drag your window, say to the left, it will maybe make your window exactly half the size of the screen.
Okay.
And so on and so forth. Yeah, I think it will be handy for you while you're teaching. So Scott is complaining that your stuff was overlapping. Can you move it to the left? Can you move it to the right?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to work on that. I've got this actual Zoom setup thing where I have one button on my I have one button on my Stream Deck that moves everything to its right place. I just end up moving them all over anyway. But okay, so let me show you this. I created this add-on here called Data Tables, And it basically, so there it is. It installed the HTML that I need. It's installed the scripts that I need. So really, what I could do is, okay, I've got the data table here. I can, and what's cool is it's actually, I could be connected to this right here. So if I were in dev mode, I could load it and it's working. So then I go into the scripts and I say, all right, what table products? Actually, let me do something here. I need to get a screenshot of this. Okay, there's a bug in the add-on creation process. So I want to go to the products table. I have a primary key, I have a product ID. So I'll do query, JSON set element. Do that, and then I'll do query. Wait, no. Oh, come on. I know how to do this. Query 0 dot product ID star JSON string. So I'm really just, what I'm doing is limit, doesn't matter, 1000. All right, so let's just check and see if this works. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. So let's see. Oops, what did I do wrong? Find criteria is empty. Query product ID. Query product. Okay, now what's going on? Query. Oh, that is an array. That is an array. Okay. My bad. It is an array. Yep. Wow. I lose query 0. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Okay. Let's run that and see. Boom, 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 boom. Gosh dang it. Okay, 1 second. So yeah, this is, I need to practice this myself. Query.
Is it better to use JSON array or something like that? I don't know.
No, because the string is right there. Let's see. Let me run this in the debugger. This is frustrating. JSON set element query. Oh my God, why this is ridiculous. I taught this. So it's 0 dot that product ID. There we go. That's what I want. Silly me. All right. I should put that in as an example here. I'm going to put that in as an example. Example code. All right, do that. Okay, so we run this again. Boom, 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 boom. All right, so there we go. Got my data. Okay, so now product, if I do product cost, if I just do product at cost in that, in here, so I do product, let's run that. It was a lowercase p. Okay, lowercase p, and then cost is lowercase as well. So this is what people are going to be doing. This is what people would do. They would construct the query, then they would add the variable or the columns in the JavaScript. Let's see. Look at that. So within a couple minutes, even though I had craziness, I was able to display data from a table in a data table. And then I could come in here and I could say paging false. Turn that off. There we go. So now I have a list of all my records in here. And now I can, put this wherever I want. When I'm done with it, I could deploy this code over to here and things would be hunky dory. So this was basically an add-on, right? This was just an add-on. And I just had to do do a couple things, write the script or update the top part of this products of the script, and then update the fields here. So my thought is, if I show people, this is all you have to do to get a data table or a chart working in your app really quickly, that they're not going to be too scared off from this, right? Is my thinking? Does this look scary? I know you guys have done more than just this, but cast yourself as a regular FileMaker developer. Does this look too scary? Granted, once you're set up and you have everything installed, does this look too scary for you? Having to write this and do this?
I think a step-by-step video is fine. Like nothing, if you break it down enough for people, then it's never too scary.
Yep.
But just when you've got many steps and it just takes one tiny thing to screw everything up and you've got to resolve it for got to spend 10 hours trying to work out how to fix it, then it doesn't work. But if you're making them a video, why not, right? And anyway, then if it doesn't work for them and they can't get a step done, they come to you anyway.
Yeah.
So it's all good. All good.
Well, that's the thing is, I would never leave people on their own anymore. I would, if they watch the video and are interested, they can always contact me and I'll be glad to get them over this hump of changing things. Obviously, watching a video 100 times will figure it out for you, help you figure it out, but they could always come to me. I mean, that's what my business is about, is helping people learn this stuff. So, but this add-on idea is an interesting one. I think I'll pursue it further. The only weirdness is that you need to have the VS Code, and I'm a little bit unwilling to take away the experience of working in VS Code for people, because I want them to have these training wheels and see how it is possible to use VS Code, even if it's just a little bit. That's how I started. That's how everybody starts. So I want to give them a well-guided. So there we go. I see I've even got the in the add-on. I've even got the script that gets the data back from the row click. So that's pretty dang cool, I must say. I think I'm going to pursue this. And here's what I'm talking through in my head right now. Here are my thoughts. Sam, what do you think about this?
Yeah, it's good.
But Jeremy, I feel like if you're putting web viewers and using JavaScript and FileMaker, I feel like you should generally be a bit more image oriented instead of table oriented. Because the thing is, with some workarounds, we can often get what we want table wise and list wise, right? One way or another.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a lot on the imaging side, like what I've come to you about for a customer here, that kind of thing is not even possible without JavaScript's help. And I feel like 99% of the time, if someone's interested in doing something in the web viewer, it has very little to do with something that's very similar to what they might be able to somewhat replicate in FileMaker.
Yep.
I feel like it's all about interaction with imagery, maps, overlays, that kind of thing, or
those kind of interactions, or potentially things like screen scraping as well, where there may be more investment from some people in that space. Do you see what I mean? I feel like that's the problem driver, the overwhelming majority of the time compared to data tables.
I agree with you, and that's why I'm doing the chart one for the auto enter presentation, because charts probably by far are asked the most about in the community, in the Claris community, about how you work with charts. So I'm going to do the chart one because it's just tough to handle.
By the way, I never make charts in Filemaker, and I think you can, right? But why do people care about charts if they can make charts in Filemaker? Is the Filemaker charting tool like super limited or something, or people want to do something really particular?
Yeah, it's asked about all the time, like how can I change the colors, or how can I add a second a right-handed y-axis, a different scale. None of you can't do any of that stuff. So yeah, by far, charts are the most asked JavaScript question in the FileMaker community. However, that said, and I'm going to do it in my training sessions, people were most interested in the data tables thing by far. Maybe it was because it was the last one they did, but Hugo, people are tired of working with filtered portals and portals with no, column sorting and stuff. So a company who took my training session are now putting a data tables into every one of their products, every one of their clients' apps that they're using. So I think from a practical standpoint, data tables is more interesting to people, which is why I wanted to do a data tables presentation and a charting presentation, but they only asked me to do the charting presentation. So, but this was sort of a proof of concept anyway, to say, how hard would it be to create an add-on for this? It's not very much fun, and it's fine. It's fine. It works. But now I have an add-on in the form of data tables that brings everything I need except for this. So
what do you have to write the add-ons in? What language is that done in?
It's not done in any language. It's a FileMaker thing. I wrote about this. See, I write a lot, or I used to. When add-ons came out in FileMaker 19, I wrote.
When did you finish this one? Just in the past week, or
past couple of weeks? Yeah. It's funny because I thought about, I did this after the last training with you, Hugo. I was like, can I do this? And yeah, I did it. I'm not going to use this in my training because I don't want people in my training to say they paid all that money for an add-on. They didn't learn a damn thing about how this works, right? In my opinion, Hugo, needs to suffer through writing this JavaScript to get a feel for how to write JavaScript. So this is available for people who attend my session, or eventually who will pay for it. I don't know, $50 for the data tables add-on or something like that. But during training, we actually put this stuff together because it's good to.
Well, the problem.
Hugo, you cut out. What?
Sorry. No, I was just going to say, normally the problem with add-ons is not paying for it, right? It's distributing them. So if you can avoid them, then it's good. But it's very cool. It's very cool that you've written one, because of course lots of people like them.
I don't particularly like them. I resisted for a long time turning any of my stuff into add-ons because, in my opinion, copying the text, copying the scripts and the stuff from this file to your app is actually pretty easy. There's just, there's one layout here with some stuff on it and a set of scripts and a table. And so those are easily copied. Add-ons just add an extra layer of complexity, especially if you're, so I don't know. We'll see, but So
Yeah,
anyway,
basically for all our customers now, generally speaking, I'll be happy to add add-ons on the server side or on slave machines, but never really on user machines.
well,
Just my
add-ons
two
add-on-
cents.
add-ons aren't added to, you can't add them to the server. They're actually added to the FileMaker app, and only you need to add them to your app once you install them. See, once you install them, so this, if I were to share this one, even if you hadn't installed this add-on, if I were to share this file with you, you would be able to use it because it's actually part of the FileMaker app that people are accessing now. So it's like XML, you know, Java FileMaker is rendered as XML. This stuff is literally in the file, in this file. So anybody can use it. It's not like everybody has to install a plugin on their machine. This is available for anybody who opens up this file. I wrote about it a couple of years ago, actually over 2 years ago now. And I mean, all the installed add-ons, all the add-ons that come with the product here, these are all just, you know, again, once I install this heat map, everybody who accesses this file has access to that add-on. So this add-on is a way for a developer to say, I'm going to just drag this on and configure it and then let everybody use it. What else? Okay, so here's my outline. I want to see what you guys have to think. I gotta shut a door. 1 sec, I'll be right back here. Sorry, when everybody works from home, everybody has meetings at the same time. So it's always.
I have a question.
Yeah, Sam.
Do you have any contact information on in your video, your community ID or your forum or your website, something like that, so that they can contact you when they have any question? Yeah.
Yes. And
okay.
Yeah, they will be able to do that or contact me. Yeah, I mean, I'm everywhere. There's nobody who doesn't know how to get a hold of me. I'm in at least 5 places, but yes, I will make sure that that's available for them to contact me. Yes.
Okay.
Cool. So here's my rough outline. See what you guys have to think. We're going to start with what this is about. And this is just the idea that, hey, this is for people who are interested in exploring JavaScript. This is baby steps into it. This is your own way to do it. And you might as well get something out of it by putting a table into your app right away or a chart. I'm going to promise that once you are at a certain setup point, you can install this in 25 minutes or less. I'm going to talk about the tools and then point to resources. So talk about the tools and the setup I have to do beforehand. Provide resources for those live and document, video, text, docs. All right. Then we'll talk a little bit about the JS environment, how it just allows us to develop, render, and deploy. We'll talk a little bit about the Apex charts library and just its features. And then we'll go through the steps. So here's the step-by-step. They're going to get the template from GitHub. They're going to connect it to their app. So what I'm going to encourage people to do is don't use the development file that comes with it. Use it to copy stuff into your app, but you're going to connect, put stuff from the JS dev file into your app, Okay, and update the scripts upload line. Summarize data. So now we talk about the next step. So step 1 is to get the template, which is pretty simple. Step 2 is to connect to your app, which will take a few minutes. Step 3 is to summarize data, build a script that grabs the data you want to summarize. You want to this summarized data you want to display. Format it as required by the library itself. X-axis categories, Y-axis values. Go into VS Code and make a few changes to add features. Demonstrate how to do this and point out common features. Deploy it, do the npm run build :upload, and then, check timing, make sure we installed it in that time. You'll get faster at this as you try this out over and over. And then finally, further resources. So again, here are the resources. Contact me, open office hours, the JS in FM community, the trainings, the special, I'm not sure what I'll call it, getting over the hump office hours for video attendees. There we go. So I think this is how I'm going to do it. And, of course, I'll demonstrate it. I'll talk about each step. I'll demonstrate it. And I'll, if there's any gotchas along the way. I actually think this could be done in fewer than 25 minutes. But obviously, I won't rush it. So that's what I am doing.
Jeremy, I don't want to correct you on anything, because people, if you have something wrong, people are going to come to you. That's what I want people to go to you. But it's called Visual Studio Code. It's not called VS Code.
You're right.
When you're in person, I'm going to throw a wet sponge at you for that.
All right. What is it called, actually?
Visual Studio Code.
Is it? All right.
You should call it VS Code, because then people are going to be like, what the hell is he talking about? Jeremy, what are you talking about? The problem is, with a mistake like that, many people, they won't admit that they don't know what you're talking about. That's the problem.
Okay.
You have to make it something a tiny bit difficult for them, so they don't mind admitting they can't do it.
So I don't know. So this is what I'm for people who want to explore JS and FM. And for people who want to continue to learn. 25 minutes. Installed. Like 25 minutes or less. Nope, that's not right. End. Go to the end. That didn't work. Let's try that again. You will be successful. You will have a stunning chart in your app. Good. All right. So I appreciate what you all have said. I think that's good, and I'll listen back to this and pick up your notes. But feel free, as I'm looking through this, feel free to ping me with other thoughts that you have about this, and feel free to ask me for updates too. I have no problem sharing my plans for this. And I will even mention that you helped me prepare. But yeah, this is the idea. The one thing that I struggle with in closing here is that I'm really teaching people a lot of what I taught over the time of the course, right? We did all of this together over the course, and I don't want to give too much of my course away because then people won't do it. Or I just have to change my course so that we can move on to something else. If 10 people if 100 people watch this video and learn how to set up this data tables with the starter file, they are pretty far in meeting the goals of the course that you all took. And I can take that and move them on further than what we just did initially. So maybe there is some value in giving people the option to give this a try. Maybe
you're going to publish this at the same time as your add-on, or you've already published that?
I've published, yeah, I'll have them both available at the same time. So I'll submit to auto enter my charting one, but I will have the data tables one as well. It'll be on my YouTube channel, and it will be in the community, and I'll advertise it all over the place as well. So people can watch the perspective of the chart and of the data table and see how it works. So yeah. But hopefully this will bring more people to the course too. And because I'm not going to explain like everything, I'm not going to explain why is this word columns here? What's going on here with these options? I'm going to say, you don't have to think about this. You could add some more options if you wanted. In fact, I might just do something like this: const my options equals, and then we're going to create a bunch of options like paging false. And then what I could do is I could take the initial options here, and I think this is the right syntax. It should. What I'll do is merge in the options that they pick. So I'll say, hey guys, in order to set this up, all you need to do is these options here. You need to just update this one little area of the file. Like I could say, I could put it in here, searching false. And then that will merge into the main options. And then all they have to worry about is this section right here. All they have to worry about are these two variables to get this to work perfectly for them. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do and see how it goes.
Let's see. You're quite good at marketing it so far. Go ahead, Sam.
Sam?
Oh, sorry. Have you mentioned how do they find out what option they have? For example, for the data table in your video.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, just show them common options. Is that what you're saying?
I mean the documentation where they could find out the data tables and what option they could configure their chart or data tables, something like that.
Very much so. Yeah. What I'll do is, I think because both of these libraries have an overwhelming number of options, I'll point to like 4 or 5 or 6 that are typically used in FileMaker worlds. Like, like, I don't know, column reordering or something could be
color or something.
Yeah.
Color of the chart, yeah.
Yep. Hugo, did you have something?
No, I was just saying you're quite good at marketing this stuff so far. So let's see. I think you know probably far better than most people would. what may work or not.
Well, yeah, I don't think anybody's ever done a session where they've said, all right, I'm going to do 25 minutes and then I'm going to just offer myself for free if you need further help on this. But that's how my business rolls, right? I get a lot of work and referrals from doing that. You know, I have a t-shirt that says teach everything you know. And I've adopted this idea of do as much as you can for free, because I actually get work from that. So anyway, that's it. So I think that's good for now, but feel free to come back with other thoughts about this. I appreciate what you have to think, because you all are at different stages of using JavaScript and FileMaker, and you have different perspectives, and you've taken my trainings in different ways. So cool. All right. Well, thank you guys. Any last thoughts? All right.
All good.
Well, thank you. And I will catch you next week. We'll be regular next week. So I'll see you at your normal time or whichever time you want to join us. All right.
Cheers, Jeremy.
Talk to you later. Bye.
What on getting your ad done? I don't know what it involves, but congratulations nonetheless.
Well, here's the post about how to create one. So there
Okay.
you go. I'll pass it on to you here. So you got it. I had to read my own post to remind myself what is this, how to do it. And this, the post too, I would encourage you to read my blog now about this, but this is one that I wrote because this is like, oh yeah, we're doing stuff over and over. Let me write about that, those patterns. So, all right, folks, thank you.
Just to say, Hugo, if you need some help with add-ons, Sam is a bit of an expert as well. He's done a few on his GitHub. So,
Oh, that's good to know. I just found Sam on mine for the first time, so I'll gradually try and inspect you guys a bit. What's it called? Not inspect. I'll try and do a bit of research on you guys gradually. It took me a few weeks to work out what Jeremy was up to, so I'll do the same. I'll do the same with you on that, Sam.
He stalks you a lot.
Sam's in your time zone as well. So
Yes, yeah, I know. I detected where Sam must be from. But Sam, how long have you been in Tokyo for?
3 to 4 years.
Wow. Okay. Great.
All right, folks. It's good to talk with you. We'll see you next week then.
Enjoy the week.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.